I'm Richard. We're at the Open Air Blues Festival in Brezoi. With me is Albert Cummings. I understand your dad played the saw?
He did play the saw, yeah, that was, I've never seen anybody else play the saw, but my dad played the saw. He also played fiddle. So I think he had the magic with the bow, you know. And,
and when he played, he bend the saw, and that's how you make the different sounds with it.
S position, and the tighter you made the S, the more it would change. And what always fascinated, and I have that saw at home, and I've messed around with it a little bit, and what fascinates me is it's very pressure sensitive. I mean, and there's obviously no scale or any notes, it's all pressure. And he was able to like understand how to get a note.
It takes experience.
But he would pick the saw up after not touching it for 5 years to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. So he had a natural knack with an ear, and he had an ability to do that. And the saw is not really the most popular instrument.
Yeah.
But it was always
the washboard.
It was always fun. I remember he was in the Lions Club. I remember, and they had like they used to put on a comedy show, and he came out and he cut a sawhorse in half with the saw, and then he sat down and played it to prove it was a saw.
Right. And
he sat down and played, and he'd play like Spanish Eyes, and he'd play all these songs on that saw. Yeah, that's a fond memory. It's the first time anybody's asked me about that, so thank you.
Thank you for your personal story. Is it true your first performance was at a wedding back in '94?
It was at a wedding. I was 27 years old, and I was just kind of fooling around with the guitar. When I was younger, I played 5-string banjo because I couldn't fit my hand around the guitar. My dad played guitar too. And I could never get my hand around to the next till I was about 15. And when I was about 15, I started to fool around a little bit with guitar. And fast forward 12 years, I had just been doodling with guitar. And we went to a friend's wedding, and there was a band. And my friends all encouraged me to get up and play with a band, and I said, oh, I can't play with a band. I've never played with a band before. And I remember I got up and played with the band, and I remember a stage bug biting me. It was instant. There was something that happened to me at that point that said, you need to pay attention to this. And here I am. Here I am in Brezoi.
So it was nothing planned, it just happened.
It just happened, and I refused it and refused it. It took them a couple hours to get me up on a stage.
And a couple of beers.
Probably a couple of beers, yeah, for sure.
Is there a difference in playing in the US and playing in Europe?
Well, I'm just starting to play in Europe, so I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very excited about it because I get great response. And I'm not sure if I see a difference yet, although I think Europeans are very appreciative of original music. And I think in the States, people like familiar music. That's why tribute bands do so well, and bands, original bands are hard to, grow a crowd because people like to hear what they've heard. And it seems like in Europe, it seems like there's two types of music. It's either good or bad. I think they just accept you if you give them good entertainment, give them a good show. So
people like cover bands here too.
Yeah, well, of course they do. I mean, everybody likes to have something familiar, but I'm getting great response in Europe, and I'm very grateful to be here. And I hope it continues. I hope I can see the world. That's what I want to do.
And I understand you never have a playlist when you go up on stage?
I don't. I never use a playlist because I'm an avid believer that if you're thinking, you're stinking. So if you're limiting yourself to a list and you feel like playing something else, the band's going to be on that list. So my band is very much on their toes because they don't know where I'm going or what I'm going to start next. And I like it that way because sometimes I'll go from one song right into another one during the song or whatever I'm feeling.
How do you do that? Do you have signs or say a letter or what?
Well, my drummer's been with me for about 13 years.
Really?
And
Warren.
Yeah, Warren Grant. And he's just fabulous. And he knows all 4 licks that I know. So.
Okay.
No, he can follow. He can listen very well. So it's just a lot more fun for me that way because it's spontaneous. And when you know, I'm a firm believer that there's 2 types of musicians, and there's performers and there's creators. And the performers perform what the creators created. And I try to be a creator. I don't want to be a performer. I don't want to go out and play everybody else's music. I want to go out and play my music. And I love to play other people's music here and there, and maybe give my interpretation of what that music sounds like to me and how I play it. But I love to play my own stuff.
Put your thumbprint on it.
Yeah, kind of give my own personality to it, and you know, I don't always play them the way they're supposed to be played or whatever. I just play them,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I don't get so far off of a song as you don't recognize it, but it's again trying to just be. I like to give something to somebody that they can't buy in a store. They see me play, they go home saying, I
want to go back.
I want to go back for sure. I definitely want them to come back, but I want them to go home feeling like that was just fun. It was just something different, and it was something new, and it was something that I've never seen before.
That's what live gigs should be like.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, the great musicians are all like that. They're creators, and I think there's, you know, about 98% performers, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, some of the people that can play all of the different types of music and songs and things, very talented people that I can't do that. I'm good at Albert Cummings, and that's kind of how I keep it then. And you know, you can't simplify simple, so I keep it simple and play what I feel.
Was the lockdown a blessing or a curse for you as an artist?
Well, it was certainly a curse as far as playing, and I think just before it happened, I was just gaining momentum, and I was just starting to go out. I have two young sons. My wife and I have been married for 33 years, and we have 2 sons. And when I first started, I got right into it, and I went on tour with B.B. King for about 6 weeks.
B.B. King.
Yep, I toured a lot with B.B. and Johnny Winter and Buddy Guy, and I left my youngest at home, and he was about that tall, and I came home and he'd grown about a ½ inch, and I noticed it. And that was early on. I mean, that was 15, 18 years ago, and it broke my heart, and I just said, well, my boys need their dad more than I need that guitar, so I'm finally at a point in my life where I can pursue what I want to do, and my boys are old enough, and
to understand,
and they're happy, you know. So I'm happy about it. When COVID came along, it was a shocker initially, but I think my silver lining was I was kind of, for the first year, it was kind of, what am I going to do? You know, I was writing songs, and I was doing things that I had more time for. So I was writing all these songs, and I'd always wanted to go to Nashville to do a record. And Chuck Ainley was a producer in Nashville, and he's like one of the top 5 producers in Nashville. And he always told me, if you ever want to do a record, call me. You know, he saw me play one night, and so I called him, and he said, yeah, I'm pretty slow, Albert. He says, if you want to come down, you know, we'll just follow a protocol for COVID, and we'll do the record. Mm-hmm. So I think by COVID happening, I found a slot with Chuck to be able to do that, and I think that record has opened up a lot of doors, and I think I'm sitting here talking to you right now from that.
Right.
So I think it's a silver lining, and I always try to find the good in things, and you know, it's hard sometimes to do that, but it's something you really have to do, and I'm very grateful for it. I mean, that happened that way. I was able to get with Chuck, and you know, and I think when you're grateful, you can't be sad. You just can't be. If you're grateful, you find things you're grateful for, and that brings tomorrow. And as long as you're grateful, you're good to go. What
do you think of the Brezoi Blues Festival?
Oh, this is so much fun. Everybody is so nice. The staff, the people, Mihai, everybody that's here has been so kind to us and treated us so well, and we've had such a great time. And the fans and the people that are here to see all the music. I mean, what a lineup they have. It's just so fun to be a part of it. And I'm grateful. I'm just grateful to be here, and I'm just so happy I was, and I hope I can come back. It's such a beautiful area. I'd love to come back and spend a few days here and see the mountains and see the hills. And
well, we'd love to see you again.
I hope it's a little cooler when I come back, but you know, hey, I'm not picky.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with everything.
Richard, thank you very much. I appreciate you, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
And we're expecting you to come on down to the Open Air Blues Festival in Brezoi.
That's right.
Well, I never thought being away could make me feel so alone. I never thought I'd miss my home this much time. He used to tell me when I was a boy, life is short, son, so always enjoy. You know, I can't spend one more night sleeping in this car. All I ever Good night, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Get ready for the great Walter Trout. He's my hero, he's my idol, and he's my friend. Walter Trout's up next. Love you guys. Thank you so much.